So let's talk about draft horse myths. My name is Stephanie and I trail ride and horse camp with my draft horse Fame. And over the years of getting to know him and other draft horse owners, both online and in person, I've noticed there's a number of myths out there and I thought I would share my take on them. One myth that I hear very commonly is that drafts are not suitable first-time horses, nor are they suitable beginner horses because of their size. If you've watched other videos on my channel, you know that I am much more of an advocate for assessing the background of the horse, the training the horse has had, the personality of the horse, the environment the horse has been in, all these other things, than just looking at breed alone. I would definitely agree that because drafts are much bigger than average, it's even that much more important that they have good ground manners, that they have good training. But as many horse people will tell you, that is true no matter what kind of horse you have, and you can most definitely get hurt on any size horse if that horse is ill-behaved or untrained or poorly trained. I have other videos where I talk about this that I will leave down in the comments. Now you may have heard that draft horses need like a ton of grain and a ton of hay to survive. And I can say from my experience, my horse Fame currently eats 4 flakes of hay a day, which is double what his 14-hand quarter horse buddy eats, but is also on par with what some of the other thoroughbred jumper horses at our boarding facility eat. So he's not eating that much more based on his breed or his size, and he is currently grain free. So I did a video a while back on my channel where I showed what I fed him, and his diet has since changed. We are actually now experimenting with being completely grain free and also supplementing with soy protein. And I will link down in the description the gentleman, his name is Doc T, whom I'm following right now. Been very interested in his content. He is a Cornell trained veterinarian and he advocates going grain free for horses in order to eliminate a lot of the metabolic diseases and issues that a lot of people are currently seeing in their horses. Now you may have seen some videos on the internet of draft horses being shod or trimmed by farriers in what are known as stocks, which is like a framed structure that's designed to restrain the horse while their feet are being tended to. And this can lead a lot of people to believe that draft horses need that kind of restraint when they're getting their feet trimmed or shod, which is totally untrue. My horse Fame stands for the farrier, as does a number of the other draft horses that I know, people that I ride with. I will say that I did spend the first few years that I had Fame working on his balance for the farrier. He definitely was prone to slamming his foot down, and that was because he struggled with balance. And so when the farrier wasn't there, we spent a lot of time just working on getting him to lift each foot independently and to hold that foot, so that when it did come time for him to get his feet taken care of, he was able to hold himself properly. And that did take some work and some practice on my part. They also don't need special foot shaping or special shoes just because they're draft horses. I'm very fortunate to have an extremely gifted farrier who has a ton of experience. And not only does he work with other draft horses, but he works with horses from all disciplines. He even trims elephants at the San Francisco Zoo. And he has always trimmed and shaped Fame's foot just like any other horse. There's no special shape just because he's a draft. Some people believe that because draft horses are very strong and very large animals that they need harsh or extreme bits. The topic of bits and bitting is beyond the scope of this video and honestly beyond my personal expertise. But what I will say is that I've seen bits used as a reflection of the horse's training and experience and sometimes behavior issues. And I've also seen bits used as a reflection of where the owner is at or the rider is at and what they feel comfortable with or what they believe to offer them the best communication or the best control. And sometimes it's a blend of both of those things. I've seen draft horses go in a variety of different types of bits. And if you're looking to purchase a horse, I think the type of bit that is being used is a great conversation starter for what kind of behavior that horse exhibits under saddle, what kind of training and experience they have, and why that particular rider or trainer has chosen to use that particular bit. I had someone ask me once if it's true that draft horses can't buck you off because they're so big. To which I will insert a particular video of Fame here. And as you can see, he does not lack any amount of athleticism that would prohibit him from bucking a rider off. And someone has also told me that bucking broncos are oftentimes draft crosses. I don't know if that's true or not. You can leave me a comment down below. The point being that they are perfectly capable and have the physical ability to get you off their backs if that is what they truly want. So one of the myths that I was concerned about when I was shopping for my horse Fame is I had heard that draft horses were lazy and slow and pokey and dull. You might have heard the term deadhead. And I've since learned, and I've shared this in other videos, that that is not the case for all draft horses. If you are someone that likes to move on the trail, you want what's called a forward horse that likes to go and likes to walk out and is willing to trot and lope and go faster, you can definitely find that in a draft horse. And I would say my horse Fame is that way. And I have connected with other draft horse owners online who have shared the sentiment that their horse is actually very forward, definitely not a slow, pokey beginner's horse. Not that all beginner's horses have to be slow and pokey, but the draft horses aren't necessarily always synonymous with a slow, pokey, dull horse. If a forward horse that's got a little bit of movement and speed to them is what you're looking for, you can certainly find that in a draft horse. And then another myth that I hear is that draft horses can't participate in a lot of equine sports. So things like dressage or barrel racing or jumping, for example. And my thought on this is that drafts are actually pretty versatile. And of course, it depends on the anatomy of your specific draft. You know, keep in mind that they do tend to be heavier footed, and they do have short necks, and they have wide bodies. And so there are some things that are going to physically be more challenging for them because of their anatomy. That being said, I think a lot of people underestimate what draft horses are truly capable of. I have seen videos on YouTube of draft horses doing barrel racing. I have a woman I follow on Instagram who jumps her Percherons, and I'll link her account down below if you're interested in checking her out. And I have seen draft horses compete in dressage. That being said, there is a reason why there are specific breeds that achieve high levels in those sports. And I would say if you're someone who really, really cares about going to a high level in a particular sport, chances are at some point you are probably going to want to get horses that are designed for that activity. But I also believe that draft horses are a lot more versatile than they get credit for. And you can have a lot of fun on a draft horse doing a lot of different things. If you have other questions about owning a draft horse, things like, do they cost more to maintain? Do you need special tack for them? Are they really the only choice for a heavy rider? I talk about a lot of those things in some of my other videos, which I will link down in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I encourage you to subscribe and check out some of my other videos if you're into draft horses, horse camping, and trail riding. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.